Hello everybody, my name is Culblu and I'm bringing out this video of me talking about some board games, and today, as you can tell by the title of the video, is going to be storage solution things. For those who don't know, I, for some reason, am really into organizing and storing games, so this is going to be my screenshot. It's going to be a nondescript storage solutions. Oh, also let me start our background music before I forget. 1 second, almost forgot. There we go, because you know I love my background music. And yeah, so I'm going to be talking about storage solutions mainly because I feel like there's a purpose and a place for storage solutions. And I feel like, I don't want to say it's central to the hobby, but the better your storage solution is, the more likely you'll be willing to play the game, in my humble opinion. So this video is not sponsored by anybody. I just want to clarify, it's not sponsored by anybody, but you'll see some repeat names, specifically Cube4Me and Gamegenic. You'll see them all over. But let's go ahead and get started. So first and foremost, I would like to say that there are a lot of board games out there that have some really, really good built-in storage solutions, and I want to start with those. So I'm first going to talk about Project L, and then I'm going to talk about Dead Cells and then Clans of Caledonia, the newest expansion. But in Project L, this game comes with virtually a really good storage solution. I have used these Geek boxes to help me with getting the pieces out, kind of in a tray situation, and you'll see this be a repeat through a few of my storage solutions that I have coming up here. But essentially the box is perfect for the game. It's not ideal if you have all the expansions and you want to store everything in the same box, but these come in plastic bags. You put them on all the plastic bags there. You get this bag to draw from if you're playing solo, and you have everything you need. It's all there. It's all concise. It's not taking up too much space. It is in the plastic. It's not taking up too much space. And it helps you get the game to the table by having the black tiles here, or sorry, the white tiles here. These are white tiles, right? Yeah, the white tiles here and the black tiles there. And you can kind of easily pick your tiles and start your game up. And the whole purpose of a storage solution is, in my opinion, to help you get the game to the table much easier. If you have a situation to where you really want to play a game, but then you got to think about, okay, how am I gonna, put this there and get these separated and get these sorted? That can lead to you not wanting to play the game sometimes. I know it does that for me. Sometimes I'm just like, I don't want to play this board game because I don't want to set it up. And I just want to clarify, out of all of my board games in my collection, my second favorite board game, number 2 on my list of 400 whatever plus board games I have in my collection currently, is Clinic. And Clinic is a very fiddly and has a lot of piece games. And that one actually show up here shortly. So that's Project L as an example. So I'm going to move on to the next one, which I said was going to be Dead Cells. And Dead Cells is one that I think, as of recent for me, is definitely one of my favorites kind of built-in storage solutions. One, because it considers a lot of things for the person who's actually putting the game on the table. The main thing it considers is how you actually set your board up, and it considers the different shapes. Now, I did add my own little bit of flair here. I did add a unique tray here. This is, again, not a sponsored video, but I'm just going to try to name the bits and pieces I have added. But this unique tray is holding kind of all the small bits and pieces and bobs. And there is a storage place for this inside of the box. I didn't like the storage place inside the box, so I use this instead. But essentially, I can put the whole thing together, and I didn't show you earlier, but there's no box lift, 0 box lift. But I did have to store this in a little bit of a creative way. So let me get all this out of the way. And you can see here, I still haven't opened the cards. I still haven't sleeved these cards. I promise I will one day, just not anytime soon. I did test to see one of the cards sleeved here, and the thing that I want to point out with this is that, one, the different tiles that you have for each stage are right here in these nice big divots in the Slay the Spire storage solution. And the other thing is that there's a lot of space here for your cards. I don't know if they are planning on releasing an extension or expansion. I think, who's this? Like Scorpion Masquerade? Is that Masquerade? Oh, sorry, Scorpion Mask. Scorpion Mask, I don't know if they're going to release an expansion or anything, but if they do, there seems to be a little bit more space left here. But the main thing is that this storage solution is very sufficient, only if you actually use the underside, which is supposed to be for when you have trash cards. You throw your trash cards here, and then it kind of goes on the bottom. But you can see here I have my maps down here. So this storage solution, I had to finagle a little bit to kind of get it to function in the perfect way for me, for storing with no box lift, but I virtually did not need to add anything special for the storage solution to work. I could have very easily just kind of kept all the pieces in the bags that they came with, and yeah, it'll be a little bit more frustrating to kind of sort out. But the main thing is that there's not a ton of extra work that needed to be done from my end to get the storage solution to a stage to where it worked, and it just came with a really good storage solution. And that's why I like the Slay the Spire storage solution. And I probably can do like a ranking of all this, but this is more so just me talking about storage solutions. And you'll definitely hear me say many a time throughout this entire video that a storage solution is really good because it helps the table hit helps the game hit the table a lot easier. And hopefully I will have convinced you by the end of the video by showing you games to where that has come true, as opposed to just me repeating it 1,000 times. You guys believe in me? But we'll see. Let me know in the comments if this is a compelling enough argument. So this is Clans of Caledonia Industria. I actually just got this one recently. I did an unboxing video that should be live before this video goes live on YouTube. So definitely check that out. Also, those watching YouTube, I do live stream on Twitch. Feel free to check me out on twitch.tv/Culblu. That's Culblu. I try to live stream my videos and my recordings that you see here on YouTube. All right, but this one has virtually no box lift. And I will say that I do have a tendency to sleeve my cards. So in the storage solutions I just saw previously, Dead Cells, I said I was going to sleeve those cards, and I think there was no cards to sleeve in Project L. But for the most part, that's an important thing to mention because sometimes when you sleeve your cards, it ruins the storage solution that came with the game. Thankfully for Clans of Caledonia, there are cards for the automata that are at the bottom. So they did a really good job. They, as in Karma Games, did a really good job when they were designing the storage solution for the base game, but I virtually have not changed anything with the storage solution, as in I'm using the exact one it came with. I sleeved the cards for the automata, but you can see here they have these really beautiful trays that you can use for each player color and have all the bits and pieces in one spot. You got your spot here. I'm not the biggest fan of this. I'd rather have this in a bag so I can kind of draw, but you know what, it fits, so it sits. And then they have their money. I got the metal money upgrade, and I'm trying to get to where the cards are because that's the important part. But you can kind of see here, it's like a fully fleshed out, fully thought out storage solution that's built into the box. Now, Clans of Caledonia Industria, I think is the name of the expansion. I think if you just get the expansion, so don't quote me on this, I think if you just get the expansion box, you're going to get the expansion stuff and space for everything else. So you need to buy the base game separate. I backed the Kickstarter to where the base game was included inside of this box already, so it's already stored in there. Despite the fact that I own the base game in Clans of Caledonia. I think I talked about this extensively in the unboxing video when I bought the game. But I'm mentioning all that because this storage solution is actually really nice because it includes space and consideration for the base game, and it also makes playing the base game easy. As in, if I'm playing the base game for Clans of Caledonia, I don't need this board if I'm on, I don't think I need those, if I'm understanding that correctly. I haven't played the expansion yet because I'm waiting for my friends to be ready. And then you just need, I need this row of stuff, and I need these bits and pieces here, and I don't need the dice, I need that. So it's a little bit, it's pretty easy to kind of look in here and figure out which pieces you need to play solo, to play the base game. And I appreciate that greatly because essentially this entire tray is dedicated to the expansion, maybe with the exception of this. Again, actually no, with including this because this looks like it's corresponding to those which are part of the expansion. So if you're not playing the expansion, you can just throw this whole thing out and not worry about it. Just pick your pieces from here and play. So again, storage solutions help. My thesis statement here is that storage solutions help the game hit the table faster. And this for sure helps the game hit the table faster. Even with my little upgraded components that I have here. So one of my friends got me that for Christmas for my base game of Clans Caledonia maybe 2 or 3 years ago. But it still fits everything and it's great. You store your cardboard on top, and it helps the table, I keep saying it helps the table hit the game. It helps the game hit the table faster. And that is something that I appreciate greatly about storage solutions, which is why you'll hear me talk about them all the time, especially during my unboxing videos where I get very distracted and start storage solutioning because it's already on the table, so why not keep looking? All right. So that is this one for Clans of Caledonia. That concludes the section where I talk about board games that have a really, really good built-in storage solution. Again, the 3 games that I use as example that I have on my shelf here are Project L, Clans of Caledonia, and Dead Cells. I think those storage solutions are like this one is, I sleeve the cards at the bottom. I forgot to point that out, but they still fit in the base storage solution that they put in here. And I appreciate that greatly. The consideration for sleeving cards is so great. I appreciate it greatly. Okay, so that is that. Now, I probably should have started with this, but I didn't, so I'm gonna talk about it now. One of the primary parts of my thesis is that, my thesis videos, this is a video essay all of a sudden, is that having a storage solution can help the game hit the table easier. One example that I'm not going to bring on the screen is Lost Ruins or Arnak. The two examples that I will bring on the screen are going to be Terraforming Mars with all the expansions that I have, and the Castles of Burgundy, a game that I haven't actually sat down and played a full game of, and I continue to not play a full game of for some reason. So bringing up the first one, we're going to bring up Terraforming Mars. Oh gosh. So Terraforming Mars is one of the, I don't want to say it's one of the first like deep board games that I got into. Oh my gosh, there's a mess in here. Clearly this has been living on my shelf for a while and not been graced with opening. I probably should open this and organize beforehand, but you don't need to know that. Now you know that. But the main thing is that this is the broken token storage solution, and my friend was convinced by me to actually go get this one for himself. My friend being Bear from the Friendly Neighborhood Gamer, Friendly Neighborhood Gamer. His channel, if you want to check him out on Twitch, is twitch.tv/FNG Raleigh NC, as in Raleigh, North Carolina, because that's where we are. And essentially, I encouraged him to get this, but it was a hard buy for him because Terraforming Mars at the time, the base game cost $50 roughly. Man, how much the price has changed. And if you want to get the broken token insert, it costs $50 as well. And my apologies to everybody watching with like wanting to organize things. I'm just gonna put these pieces in here. I know I'm putting them in the wrong spot. It hurts my soul too, I promise. But oh my gosh, there's pieces everywhere. Oh geez. But the main thing is that this super helps the game hit the table way faster. So this is a $50 investment that helps the game hit the table faster. Everybody starts with their player board like this. Everybody except for the red player here, because the red player is on top. And you kind of get your pieces, you put them in. Everybody else will have their stuff starting here. And you can literally just kind of take the game out, give everybody their tray, and virtually start the game. I say virtually start the game because there's still a little bit more setup you need to do, especially with Prelude and all the other expansions. But the main thing is that this helps the game hit the table so much faster. And I didn't realize how much faster it helped the game hit the table from having all of your tiles here to the side. And look at that, all your tiles are ready to go. And you can pull out these trays, and again, it's a mess down here, but oh, actually it's not that much of a mess. Nice. You can get your little trays that have your city tiles, city and forest tiles. You got your ocean tiles. Everything is just kind of ready to go. You can kind of pull it out and go, and it's modular. It's not modular, but you can put the pieces where you want to on the table, and that really helps a lot with making sure that the game can hit the table faster. And setting up Terraforming Mars without this is not a nightmare. It's not the end of the world, but it's just more tedious than it should be. And I think I was in the middle of a thought before I cut myself off, but the claim to fame for this one for me was that there was one point in time where I was playing this game solo quite a bit more than normal. And what I would do is I would just essentially kind of put the box here, take out the tray that I would use, which would be the yellow player, which is why there's a second, and put out the board and then just start playing. And the reason why is because I had everything I need here. If I need to get a tile, I can pull this out of here and get my tile. If I needed money, when this is more organized, I can pull it out from here. And I'm playing solo, so I don't need everything immediately accessible. And this was really doable because it was so easy to set up the game and just kind of pull it out and get ready to go. So that is, like I said, my primary thesis there. Terraforming Mars, the base game with some of the expansions, is one of the claims to fame for that. And yes, I do store my board game sideways. I know some people are cringing, but that's what I do. But it's nice because there's no box lift, depending on how many expansions you have in here, of course. I don't have the turmoil expansion, but we're not here to talk about my sadness at the turmoil expansion. Some people love it. I don't like it. But this is one of the exemplars of the storage solution. Definitely helps the game hit the table way faster. I mentioned Castles of Burgundy. Castles of Burgundy. This is I played Castles of Burgundy, the card game. It's in my top 10 actually. Castles of Burgundy, the card game, is my number 3 favorite game out of all my board games. Mainly because I have not finished the full game of Castles of Burgundy, the board game. I know, blasphemy, but that is the honest to goodness truth. But this is the folded space insert for Castles of Burgundy, and ooh, I can switch these coins out. Nice. Switch them out something else. But this is the folded space insert, and this folded space insert is great. Again, I haven't played the game too much, but I am very familiar with the folded space inserts. I have it in my Lost Ruins Arnak box. I have it in my Fields of Arrow box. And they're really, really reasonable price. Again, this is not a sponsored video, but these are reasonably priced, and they help the game hit the table faster because everything's sorted. I don't have all my tiles mixed in one giant pile. Every player gets their own little board. You can see here the player colors, and it just helps the game hit the table faster. So again, you'll hear me repeat it a billion times, I promise, this entire video. So my apologies if it's getting repetitive, but I'm just trying to show and tell why storage solutions are something that I'm pretty passionate about with board games. All right, so we got the picture with this one. Let me go ahead and put this away. And oh, there's Castles of Burgundy. The card game is also stored in this box, which I appreciate that. There's space for the board game and the card game, and I love playing the card game, so big win for me. I have like 3 copies of Castles of Burgundy, the card game. One copy lives in here, one copy travels with me, and the other copy is just laying in wait for me to gift to somebody who likes the game a lot. I don't know. We'll see if I actually gift it anytime soon, but... All right, so that is Castles of Burgundy, the card game, the insert helping the game hit the table faster because of all the organization. Now, those are storage solutions that are kind of you know, ready-made, as in you can order those, you can buy those for like, you know, $30, $40 or whatever. But I do want to talk about storage solutions that you can definitely do yourself, you can definitely make yourself, or you can even piecemeal together yourself. So the next set of games I'm going to show are going to be just different storage solutions you can piecemeal yourself, as in put together yourself, do yourself, and use some of the items. I'll talk about some of the items that I use and why I use them and why I like to return to them. But first we're going to start with the most custom storage solution here that I have, which is going to be Terraforming Mars. Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition. Another Terraforming Mars game here. I love playing this game over Race for the Galaxy. This is basically Race for the Galaxy with Terraforming Mars stuff because it lets you kind of play with your engine. I do think this game goes long, maybe like 30, 40 minutes longer than it should, especially when you're playing with a max player count game, but my solution is don't play max player count game. Cool. My rant and ramblings aside, I bring this one up as my custom storage solution because I literally cut my own board to act as a divider, and it's literally just cards. So I have the storage solution that the game, oh, actually this is what the Deluxe edition came with, I forgot. Yeah, this is the Deluxe edition that came with these custom storage trays, and I kind of stuffed everything inside of there. But you can see here, there's literally just like this this little plastic sheet here that's keeping the cards divided, and that is because I sleeved my cards. So I sleeved my cards. Oh, that's loud. Sorry, my apologies to everybody wearing headphones, including myself. I sleeve these cards, and you'll notice that they're stored sideways, so you can kind of pull them out. And that's not the most ideal way to store cards, but it was perfect for this. So I store them sideways, how the game intended, because that's how the built-in insert used to do. And also I have these trays here. These are Geek box trays, and I'll try to link every single item that I'm talking about here, if I remember, in the description, so you can find them if you really want to go get them yourselves. Again, this is not a sponsored video. I'm not saying go buy these things immediately. I'm just saying if you're interested in these things, this is what I use, and this is what I can vouch for because they're in all my board games here. But this one's great because it holds the various cubes for all the player cubes, and literally it's just mostly cards, and then the storage solution that the Deluxe edition came with, which is perfect for fitting here. And I was very delighted to know that it just kind of fit here perfectly. And I have everything sleeved, and I think I have all the expansions for Ares Expedition because they're on my shelf. Where are they? Oh, I hid them. Yeah, I moved them out of the way because they were taking up valuable shelf space. But I have all the expansions for, or at least 3 of the expansions for the Ares Expedition, and you know, this helps the game hit the table faster because again, I can kind of have all my cards here. I can shuffle them beforehand, so they're all nice and shuffled. We can draw from here. We got the player boards, or the players, where are they? Yeah, the player cards are here for the Crisis and the dummy player. These are the phase cards for the player. Everything is here. They're all here. Just like the Super Smash Brothers ad there. But that one's a fully custom storage solution. I say fully custom mainly because I built a little board, and I just cut it out of the little cellophane, or not cellophane's the wrong word, but plastic, corrugated plastic stuff that you can buy from a hardware supply store. I got mine from Lowe's. You can get yours from whatever hardware store you have around you. And there's minimum box lift with this, and I was very proud that it fit in the original box. That's one of the things I love to do, is I love to try to get the base game plus all the expansions to fit in the original box. It's not always possible, but when I can do it, it just feels good. It gets that serotonin going in the brain, and it also, like I said, helps the game hit the table faster. So that is, oh, I should probably start another pile. That is the custom solution. Now the next custom solution I'm going to talk about here is Furnace. Furnace is a game that I enjoy playing as well with some of my friends. It's an engine building game that has a really cool mechanic, so it was pretty fun. But the main thing is that this custom storage solution is actually a combination of a few different bits and pieces. One, I use sleeves to sleeve my cards here. So all these cards are sleeved. For the player cards and the, starting faction cards? Oh, actually, all the cards in this game are sleeved. These are just some of the cards here, except for this one. This one, I think it's a duplicate that's incorrect or something. I forgot. But essentially, this is a combination of a few different pieces. The mainstay of this entire box, the mainstays of this entire box are the Gamegenic token silo that you can see peeking out through here. And oh my gosh. Yeah, the Gamegenic token silo you can see here, and the Geek boxes. These are two different sizes in here. These are the Geek box slims. These are the same ones you saw in the Terraforming Mars box, Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition box. The Geek box slims, they're pretty nice and perfect for holding all the player pieces for this game. So when I'm starting the game up, I can give everybody their player piece. I play the yellow player because it's close to orange, which is one of my go-to colors. But I can just kind of give everybody their thing. They have all the pieces they need. The money is contained inside of this. This is actually scythe coins that I use for this game. And these are the Geek box duos. Wait, I don't know. I don't remember the exact name of this ones, but I'll look it up and put it in the description like I said before. And then finally, we have the token silo here at the bottom. And again, this is not a sponsored video. I'm gonna say it a million times because I know it sounds like a sponsored video, but it's not. But this is perfect because it holds all the resources that I need. It holds the rest of the cards for the game, and everything is nice and compact. And again, it fits in the base box. I do have the expansion for this one, which is Interbellum. I don't know if there's another expansion. I haven't checked in a while. But the main thing is that the expansion plus the base game fits inside the same box. It's still nice and compact. There's a little bit of box lift, which I'm not the biggest fan of. I try to avoid box lift in all situations that I can, within reason, of course. But sometimes it is not reasonable to avoid box lift, so I have to live with it. And it all fits. It all fits in the original box. And that is an example of kind of a pseudo custom storage solution, because I do think there's an insert. I think it's a safe bet to say that there's an insert, let me say it that way, that I can use that will actually fit everything perfect. But you know what, this is good enough. I don't play the game nearly enough to buy an insert. I just got the pieces laying around. Let me go ahead and use them. Okay. All right, and continuing on with kind of a pseudo custom one, we got Core Discovery, a game that I've been loving on recently a lot. I have all the expansions that are currently out, and this one is essentially came as an empty box. They just threw stuff in there. Nothing wrong with the empty box. It gives you kind of your own space to kind of do what you want. I prefer an empty box sometimes over where they put like the annoying cardboard insert, the all bleached white cardboard insert inside of it. I hate that, especially when it doesn't fit everything too well. But my aggravations aside, what we have in here is we have, like I said, I have all 4 of the expansions. So I have the Insecta, the Vameter, the Maladon, whatever you call it, and the Fog expansion that one finally came in to my mailbox, as in I ordered it and finally showed up. I didn't realize it wasn't released, but that's a different conversation. But these are the Cube4Me storage. So Cube4Me is a storage solution that I found, and I love them so much. They are based out in Sweden or something. I don't know where they are. I know that I try to order them whenever I need to, and when I do, I try to do a bulk order, mainly because it takes so long to show up, takes almost a month at best for things to show up. But these are the Cube4Me sleeved. No, these aren't the sleeve. These aren't the ones that fit sleeves, but they are the thin ones. They have a lot of different sizes, and I'll try to link exactly what I'm talking about in the video in the description, so check that out if you want to try to have the exact one. But that holds all of the different tokens and pieces, and it was a little bit of a puzzle to get everything into where I want it, because these don't have dividers inside of them, although I probably could put them if I really wanted to. And I forgot to show this off before I opened the box, but you'll see that there is virtually no box lift. There's a little bit of box lift because it's a little bit a little bit bulging here because of the way I have the tiles, the path tokens stored. But that is what I use to store the different tokens instead of plastic bags. And I know it's a little bit of a vain thing to store your pieces in like this whole plastic thing. I mean, especially if you want to try to save the planet, less plastic, but different conversation. But you can very much do this with plastic bags. I didn't want to because I like the idea of being able to just like take off the top and then boom, you got your storage solution. You can put it on the table, you can reach in, get your pieces, and you can kind of move on. So anything that has something that lets me do this, which is why I like the Gamegenic token silos quite a bit, but anything that lets me do this, I love and I appreciate greatly. I have our path tokens stored here, and these deck boxes fit perfectly, and I was very happy, very happy that this is how they designed their box. I don't know if it's something I don't know if this is something that off the page games were intending to do, but it worked out perfectly, and I would like for them to not change it. It would be nice if the box was a little bit taller, as in if another expansion comes out, I'm gonna have trouble storing that because I don't think I can go any thinner with these, and I don't think I can fit that many more cards with the way I have these organized so far. But they designed this in a way to where everything kind of fits, like you have your boards, your main board that fits perfectly here, and you can fit a deck box right beside it, specifically 3. And these are the, I think these are Ultra Pro? No, these are Upper Deck. These are Upper Deck deck boxes. I think these are their 80 card size. Don't quote me on that. But they fit perfectly here. I got 3 different boxes. I organized them in a way that made sense for me, and that is how I stored the game. So again, the game came with the empty box, and I was able to take the empty box and work something into it. And that was mostly because I had the Cube4Me storage tokens. These are storage containers. These were perfect. They fit exactly where I needed to fit to where I can have minimized box lift. I had this little bag here. This is just a glasses bag. You can get them from Amazon. I'll link things in the description if you really want to check them out. But this holds all the path tokens in storage, and then all the rest of the board game stuff that the expansion and the base game comes with is all stored. It's all stored here, all throughout here, and it just worked out. It just worked out. So, does this help the game hit the table faster? Yes. I say yes with a question mark because it's not like the game is going to hit the table any faster because you still got to put the path tokens inside the thing. So a design situation from Core Discovery is going to basically make it about the same startup time, but it does feel a lot nicer putting it on the table because of the storage solution. So huge delight in how that turned out. Okay, so our last 2 before we finally get to the star of the show. It's going to be Clinic. Again, we're talking about we're in the section of the video where we're talking about storage solutions that are customized, and Clinic is going to feature Cube4Me again. Actually, it's going to fit. Oh, okay, yeah. It's going to feature the Gamegenic token silo. This one is. Oh, and Cube4Me. Nice. So we got the different rule sheets here. We got the bags it comes with, and I have all the expansions for Clinic. So you're going to see different things mixed in. I don't know what's where, but I know it's in here somewhere. This is the board. This is the this is the Gamegenic token silo that just barely fits all the pieces. You can see it's kind of a mess in there. Things got mixed around a little bit. Not the end of the world, but for the most part, the Cube4Me, wrong people. The Gamegenic token silo holds pretty well as long as you don't overload it. And that's actually a thing that's really important to point out about this. This top, you can see here, is kind of warped a little bit. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's probably near impossible to see with how I'm doing this. But if you look here, you'll see that there's a little bit of lift that can get in there, and that's the reason why some of these pieces kind of slide around. You can also see here that these wooden pieces, this is a little bit overloaded. It's kind of pushing up on this. I can take some of these out and put them in where the rest of them are, but for the most part, this holds it well enough to where storing it is not too much of a hassle to kind of get things unmixed. Like I can put this, oh no, he stays over there. Oh, I got 2 trays, as you'll see. I can put this piece back over there and kind of move on with life. So not ideal, but it fits in the box. And it fits that way, and I was very happy that this fits exactly there. So again, I don't know if it's like a standardized size thing, but it's really good. I do still have some plastic bags of shame in here, so you know, it's part of my shame, but I tried to use as much storage things. This is another unique tray that I use to store these pieces. This is a Cube4Me tarot card tray, the thicker one that can fit 48 tarot cards. I use it to store the cardboard pieces in there. This is a Geek box, Geek box dual. This is a Geek box normal that has a normal thickness instead of the slim. And as you can see, it's just a combination of different storage solutions or different things to solve different problems to help the game hit the table faster. Does this help the game hit the table faster? Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely does. It absolutely does. With the amount of times that I played Clinic, especially at my peak of playing a lot of Clinic, this was the reason why I played a lot of Clinic, was because I can get it to the table really fast, because my storage solution was optimized enough to where it wasn't too much of a hassle to get it to the table, and I could store the game with no box lift. Not that box lift makes the game hit the table faster. It's just, again, the storage solution helps keep things organized. The Gamegenic token silo was the star of the show on this one because it holds all the pieces and keeps them separate for all the wooden pieces, and there's a lot of wooden bits in the Clinic games. And I can show the other, oh my gosh, yeah, there we go. I can put it back in the sleeve so you can get this properly stored. And I can show the expansion for Clinic. This is just one of the expansion boxes. Like I said, I have all the expansions for Clinic, and Clinic has, I want to say it has 11 expansions. Don't quote me on that. But this is kind of how I have things stored in some of the boxes. So I actually need to get the, well, I'm not going to get it now, but one of the boxes has a lot of the cardboard boards that you end up with and cardboard bits. And then this one has this is another thing from Cube4Me. For war gamers and stuff, Cube4Me is your best friend. But I don't do a ton of war games, but I do order war game stuff. But this is a stackable tray. So you can see here is just kind of two trays stacked together with one tray stacked on top of another with a topper here. And this one is great because there's a whole bunch of bits and bobs and pieces for different modules in Clinic. And the way Clinic works is essentially you kind of figure out what modules you're playing with, you take out those pieces, you put them on the table, you combine them in whatever ways you need to, and then you play the game. But Clinic has this many modules. Is this an updated? This is an updated page. Clinic has all these modules. Each line that you can see here, which you probably can't see, let me zoom in. Each line on this page is a different module. So Clinic has this many modules, and not every single module is going to have all the different pages. Oh, sorry. There we go. Not every single module is going to have a whole bunch of different wooden bits and cardboard bits, but there's just a lot of stuff. And this is just one of the boxes that I use to store my Clinic. I had to use, I think, 3 of the expansion boxes to store everything that I have for Clinic. And these Cube4Me trays are so great. I don't know exactly what the size of this one is. I'll try my hardest to put it in the description, like I keep saying, so you can find it there. But it is just nice to be able to store everything in a box, and the box has no box lift. And I know when I take Clinic and I take these boxes with me, I know that I have Clinic and some expansion options, and it just feels good. So that is a Cube4Me. Again, the trays that they have, I probably should look up the names of them beforehand, but we're gonna just rely on future me to solve current me's problem. Thanks, future me. You are doing great. Don't forget to drink water. All right, and then the last one, before I get to the final bit of this video, this is a Gamegenic, what is it called? Gamegenic game layer? I think it's called the games layer. I think I call it the token silo or token layer. That's wrong. The token layer is like the smaller one. This is the games layer. This thing is expensive. I would not recommend buying this. I don't know, I don't want to say it's bad and you should not buy it. I'm just saying that this is $80 to $90, which is ridiculous price-wise. I understand nobody's really doing it, and thank you Gamegenic for doing this thing. I have 2 of these, so clearly it wasn't high enough of a price for me to avoid it and like say outright no. But the reason why I'm bringing this one up is because I use this one to store a number of games. Speaking of custom storage solutions, it's not that these games don't have their own storage solution. It's just that all of these games are either intercompatible with one another. Like this is the Kinfire Delve series. So these are intercompatible with each other, and I wanted all the compatible things in one box, or like the 20 strong series over here. Each one's kind of like a different module, different flavor of the same core system. So that is what this is all about. This has a few different storage things. I'm not going to give a full tour of the box, but you have your little spot here. You can store stuff. This is where my dice are. There's another one over here that stores other things. And yeah, this is a really cool storage solution for small box games. And the small box games are one of my big favorite things, and this is nice because I technically have like 14 games in this one box if you count each one separately. And also, as I mentioned before, I am live streaming here on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/Culblu, Culblu. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. But I mentioned that because we have a comment here in the Twitch chat from Chai Doodle. It says, "I found you." Yes, you found me here, live streaming. How dare I? All right, I appreciate you greatly. Okay, so that is the main bulk of the videos talking about the storage solutions. Now, I did mention that it was going to be a final thing I was going to do, and that was going to be to address my shame here. This is a small box game that I ordered I don't want to say a long time ago, but I think I got this like in 2019, like right before the pandemic hit, because I think I had to deliver it during the pandemic. So in the US, or at least the height of it in the US, which I guess the height of it is today, but that's not the point. Different conversation. But this game, one second. Sorry, there you go. But this game has a storage solution that I think is okay. I say it's okay because I feel like it does an okay job. Like, this is your board, it stores it here. This is your rule sheet. And then you kind of got your plastic bags going. But I only say it's okay because it'll be nice to kind of have this in a plastic container. And this is kind of me justifying the situation I mentioned before in Core Discovery. Whereas in the Core Discovery box, I had the plastic containers that stored it and also acted as trays for me to pull pieces out of. When you have plastic bags, it's not the biggest hassle. It's not the end of the world to just kind of put your pieces on the table like this. But if I don't have to, I don't want it. So that's kind of what it boils down to. So you have these pieces that you'll be using during the course of the game and pulling from. You have these pieces that you'll be using to set up the board, and then you have these wooden bits and pieces that will go in various places. Not the end of the world to go through this handful of pieces and find what you need and put it where you need it. But the main reason why I wanted to find a storage solution, or better one, that sparked this entire video was because, yes, I don't play this game very often, but I have enough materials around to make a storage solution. And the plastic insert inside of here it's okay. Like, I mean, I guess this is plastic, but plastic inserts, especially if they're not designed to like do anything or add any value overall, as in like make it easier to set the game up, like Dead Cells was, or like Clans of Caledonia and Industria expansion, like that one was. This one is just there to hold pieces and hold parts and take up a little bit of space for storage and packaging. It's like, that's okay, but I can do better. So I'm going to attempt to do better. Okay, so I'm basically just going to go and try to use some of the Cube4Me stuff. I think those will solve most of the problems. And I could also make an attempt to use a unique tray, but I think this is going to take up too much space in the small box. Well, it might work. The benefit of the unique tray versus the Geek box, which I have a whole pack here of the Geek box ones, and it has some slims around here somewhere. But the biggest benefit is that these don't have dividers, and that kind of defeats the purpose of doing this to help make the game easier to hit the table. You see, having the dividers will just save you a step or two of having to sort through the pieces. There's not a ton of pieces to sort here. It's not that big of a deal to kind of have everything in one spot, especially considering the fact that I think you really need, like all the cubes I think can go in the same spot, and all of the police officers and the military, I think those can go in the same spot. So what I'm saying is that you don't need to sort everything. You don't need everything to be completely separate. So you can probably get away with doing that situation, and then throw all these guys here in the same spot. Oops, oh yeah, that's right. And then throw all the cubes in a different container. And this is probably fine. I am going to be relearning how to play this game, so I can try to do a playthrough of it here for a video coming up. But the main thing is that this is why I wanted to do a storage solution for this, because this saves a lot of space already. It also makes the game easier to hit the table. I might be able to even fit these. No, this is a pipe dream. So that saves a lot of space already. I guess I could separate this a little bit more, or maybe put some core pieces that when you start the game, you always have these pieces, stuff like that. If that's the situation, I can put those here. Again, I have to relearn the game here shortly, so we'll see how that works. So that goes right there. And I mentioned Cube4Me, so let me go ahead and get those. There's not a ton of cards in this game. There's 3 different types of cards, I think. So there's the patrol cards, There's the mission cards, and there's these giant tarot cards. These probably don't need to have a whole entire Cube4Me things dedicated to them, but we'll see. So I think I might be able to get away with just using this tray. Or actually, this tray might be too thick. Let me see. Oh, no, it's perfect. Okay, there we go. So that one works, and that fits right there. Perfect. So we got two, that doesn't really fit standing on top, which, I don't know. We can see if I'll need to do that or need to reassess. And now I need to put these somewhere. So I mainly wanted to put these in a Cube4Me storage. I might be able to get away with using the tarot card one. The reason why is because the number of tarot cards that I have here are exactly 4. So these can go right there with sleeves and everything. And then I can kind of just maybe double use storage like that. And the main thing is that this tray will act as storage for the cards. It'll act as storage for the little tokens here. And also it'll act as, well, yeah, I was gonna say, and also it'll act as a place for when I'm playing the game. I can put it here. I can get the pieces that I need. You know, I got to search and find, which is not the most ideal thing in the world, but it's efficient enough to where I don't have to like pour it out of a bag at least. And I also have a thing to kind of protect the game and make it easier to set up. I'm not the biggest fan of what just happened there, but we're gonna leave it for a second so I can consider the rest of this. Because now I got to figure out what to do with these, and I think I'm running out of space. So, what if, hear me out, what if I took these pieces, because these pieces I'm gonna need to kind of just live in the thing, and put these pieces on the bottom? It doesn't solve my problem that I still have of not having enough space for everything else, but we'll see. And again, if you watch any of my unboxing videos, you'll know that I go through this entire process. Every single time I unbox a game, I just can't help myself. I have no self-control apparently. But I can do that. I mean, I'm not the happiest about that because it might end up damaging the cards in here a little bit. But it fits. It fits. I might have to reconsider this unique tray. Unless I can use this, well, I was gonna say, unless I can use the second one, but maybe not. Oh, that almost fits perfectly. Look at that. It's just a little bit off if I put it upside down. Oh, well, that's oddly satisfying. Look at that. Oh, okay. It's not quite, it's close, but it almost fits. Okay, so this might be too bulky. And this is a problem I run into with the unique trays. I like them, but they always end up being just slightly too bulky. Like they have a lot of bulk here. Like this is nice because it locks in and it holds things down, but it ends up kind of just sticking out awkwardly and just being in the way. So I end up kind of defaulting back to the Geek Box Slims instead, which I said I had a few more. I don't know where the few more are, but I will search for them. Oh, they're probably across the room. I don't want to get up. All right, Cube4Me Trays it is. Oh, sorry. It's amazing. Yes, it's amazing. Thanks. That was a comment from Chai Doodle there in the chat. So how about I do this? Let's do that, right? We'll find out something for these in a second. We could use a second thin tarot card tray. Do I have another one? I might need to reorder some pieces, re-up on my orders here for Cube4Me. Also, Cube4Me, if you're watching and you want to sponsor me, please let me know. I will gladly do a sponsor video for Cube4Me. Clearly, you don't have to sponsor me though, because I'll just do it for free. I shouldn't say it out loud, but it's too late. It's already happening here. I need to find another tarot card slim, because I think another tarot card slim would actually be perfect, because then I can put that on top of this one, and no, actually I don't think that'll work. I don't know. I'm trying to talk myself through it. I'm trying to encourage myself. Not to give up. Just kind of believe in myself, as Arthur would say, because that's the place to start. And I say, hey, what a wonderful time of day. Sorry. Jokes aside, I think we'll run into a little bit of a dilemma. I like the idea of this, but I might have to give up on the unique tray. And again, this happens every single time I use a unique trays. It's like, oh, this is perfect, and it's not perfect. So I'm giving up on the unique tray. I'm going to treat these bits and pieces here the same way I'm treating the cardboard tokens down there. And this is still better than a plastic bag. Again, it's not ideal because I still got to kind of search and find, and things aren't nice and separated already, so it's a little bit annoying. But it fits inside of here. It's slim, it's thin. for storing the pieces, and I have a little bit of space left actually. Can I do anything else with that? I don't think so. All right, so we got those. That's box lift. We don't like that. Okay, so that works. There's no box lift there. All right. So that's those pieces sorted. This doesn't have to really go into a thing. It's just a little cardboard bit, so it can kind of just float around. I'm fine with that. If I can find a storage solution for these, then we'll be golden. So, let's see. We got cards. We got the tokens under the cards here. We got this. I think if I can find a, oh no, that won't work either. Man. I think we might, or actually we can just, boom, look at that, solved. I mean, if there's nothing else for it to interfere with and get mixed up with, so to speak, I think that's perfectly valid. Just throw the pieces in there. I mean, I'm not the happiest because I had to like reach in and like, you know, fish out the pieces, but it's not the biggest deal. I think that actually works out pretty well. And there's space left to place the board, which goes right there on top. Look how flat that is, it's perfect, all right. And then we have this, the rule book on top, and then we put this on top. And it looks like we were able to solve this with only Cube4Me, which again, Cube4Me, if you want to sponsor me, let me know. I have a pretty high opinion of Cube4Me, if you didn't notice. I use a lot of their stuff, and I'm very happy with their trays and stuff. And oh, there's one more Cube4Me thing. Oh man, I thought I grabbed D-Day at Omaha Beach. Okay, I'll bring that back up in a second. But yeah, this works perfectly, fits everything, and it's gonna make it easier for this game to hit the table. Do I plan on hitting this game or playing this game a ton? No, but it cost me 3 Cube4Me trays, and I think each of these trays is $2 a piece at most. So $6 to store the game in a way that's a little bit better, not including the sleeves, or actually these are sleeved. So sleeve cards, all the cards are sleeved, everything is stored, it's easier to hit the table. I can kind of put the box away. Unique tray, good try, just not today. I need bigger boxes for this game. I do use the unique tray in the Dead Cells board game in that box, if you saw at the top of the video, but, oh, here we go. Oh no, that's not a good example. Anyway, yeah. Okay, all right, so that is the final thing has been done. I successfully stored this with some storage to help it hit the table a little bit faster. I can discard of this, I can recycle this. Will I recycle it? No, but I just say it out loud so people think I did. I know, I just gave away the whole game, didn't I? And that is basically it. That was the whole entire purpose of this video, was to do storage for this game. But before I did, I wanted to justify what I was doing, why I was doing it, and also just kind of give a tour and just show some of the advantages of storing a game. Some of the disadvantages of it, of course, are that you're spending a lot of extra money for a board game. Like, again, I keep saying I'm not gonna play this game a lot. That's actually true. This is a solo only game. And I think after maybe 3 or 4 playthroughs of it, you kind of seen everything you need to see. You can play the harder version of it, but I'm just gonna play a different game at that point. But for this game, I'm probably not gonna play it a ton, which is why I didn't want to try to throw too many expensive bits and pieces at it for the storage solution. But it's a small game. It's nice and compact. Maybe this being easier to store will help me want to play it more. I might just end up playing a different game instead. But again, outside of me contradicting myself, storage solutions. Storage solutions are really cool, really good. I feel like we should definitely give a lot of credit and credence to those. And I would encourage people to always try to find a way to make your game easier to store. It definitely helps out. If you want to use sandwich bags instead, sandwich bags are fine. I personally don't like sandwich bags, as I mentioned before, because I like to have the tray effect of using things like the Cube4Me trays or the Geek box trays, or even the Gamegenic token silo, where they all come out and they can act as trays. But it just helps the game hit the table easier. It makes it a little bit more organized. And if you have a better organization system, it just helps the game work for you. Ooh. Two last examples. I know it was going to be the end of the video, but I'm just going to go ahead and show these 2 examples because I think it's important to make sure we have a well-rounded video of games that I use for have a storage solution for that includes basically just a bunch of bags, because that's just how it works for the game. What was the other game? I forgot the other game. Oh, Railroad Tiles. Yeah, of course. Right. So bonus games. So we have Neuroshima Hex and we have Railroad Tiles. So Neuroshima Hex is a interesting game. I'm not here to review the games we're talking about them, but Neuroshima Hex is a nice 2-player game. I play this game a lot on my phone, the phone app against the computer. But the storage solution that I have for this game, it's not that I'm ashamed of it. It's not my best work, but it's just there's nothing really better than just plastic bags. And this is, again, me, somebody who has all these fancy storage solutions and is basically just a board game snob talking about how cool I store my games. Plastic bags just work sometimes. And this is the point that this is the reason why I wanted to bring this up in my last point I was making, is that plastic bags sometimes just work. The nature of this board game is that you are basically drawing your tiles 3 at a time, and you're putting them on the board and you're playing the game. And once they're destroyed, they're destroyed. The tiles are destroyed, the tiles are destroyed. So the solution for that is, because you have to randomly pull from somewhere, I use these makeup bags that you can get at a lot of thrift stores or secondhand stores you have around you, or if you just talk to a friend that wears makeup or has makeup stuff, they'll probably have a lot of these that they're willing to give you for free. But I got these at my secondhand store for 25 cents a piece, and I got a whole bunch of them, different colors for whatever preference people wanted. And these work perfectly, because in the game you just take the player faction that they're playing, and I think I have every faction except for maybe the last one that just came out. Oh, sorry, hello. sorry, somebody on Twitch says, yo, it is Illman. Hello, Illman, welcome. And essentially you just take all these and you throw them into the bag, and that's it. I mean, well, you don't take everything and throw it in the bag. You got to pull some pieces out of there and put it in the right spot. But this works perfectly. And again, the nature of this game is that you're drawing pieces from somewhere. You're doing blind draws, and you're just trying to put them on the board. So this is where bags work perfectly for a storage solution. I am pretty anti-bag myself. As I mentioned before, I prefer the little Cube4Me trays, but it just makes more sense to use bags in a game like this. Bag pulling for tile drawing in board games, I think, is just the better way to go. When I play Carcassonne, I have a bag inside of that box, so instead of just flipping the tiles face down, you can kind of draw them. You lose the ability to count how many tiles you have left a little bit, but you don't lose that much. And yeah, plastic bags just work for this game. And the box stores with very minimal box lift, which is one of my things that I like to try to achieve here. I say minimal because it's a little bit unruly with all these factions. And I think they're still releasing factions, which is crazy to me. But you know what? You do you, Portal. Just keep releasing this factions for this game. I'll keep buying them. I'll complain, but I'll keep buying them. All right, so that's that one. And the last one was actually Railroad Tiles. Again, another situation where storing in bags makes sense. I am using another Gamegenic product here. This is the Gamegenic Gamegenic Dungeon? I think that's the name of this one. Excessively expensive. I would not recommend buying this. There's a whole bunch of knockoff versions of this on Amazon or any other website like AliExpress or whatever you want to go, that you can get a knockoff version of this that's not nearly as fancy. Like, you don't have all the bells and whistles, but it does the same thing. Like, this is a $70 purchase. I will always rage about how expensive the Gamegenic stuff is as I swipe my card and buy more of them. Just because I'm doing the capitalism doesn't mean that I can't complain about it, y'all. Anyway, but bags. So this game comes with bags. So I just wanted to point this out because sometimes bags are just a good thing, and I like to try and use cloth bags for some of my games if I can. This game, again, every single expansion, the base game and the expansions, they all came with their own bags, so they solved that problem for me. I still needed to find a way to store the various wooden pieces that each expansion came with. So you can see here I have like a label printer. I labeled everything. That's a nice little tip and trick to help you with setup too. Use a label printer. Label printers are like, not the most cheap thing in the world, but they do help a lot. You can also just use like a little piece of tape and write it on there yourself. I like label printers because it looks nice and more legible than sometimes my handwriting. But these are the Geekbox duals, and there's some Geekbox Slims in here, and there's also a Cube4Me tarot card. So it's kind of got all the different, like, the whole cast is inside this box essentially. But I'm showing this one because bags are a thing that you can do, but I want to show an example of me just using flat out plastic bags. One, the plastic bags that the games came with, or like a Ziploc bag. Like you don't have to get super ultra fancy for a better storage solution or a more functional storage solution. And then I'm showing this one because bags that the games come with, cloth bags. I actually have a bag of cloth bags here. These are just jewelry bags, or what is this? This is cable management. No, this is the wrong thing. Sorry, I don't know what that title is there. But these are jewelry bags that you can use. You can get these from, again, like Amazon, different places. They have different sizes. I'm still trying to find the better size, but these are great for holding pieces for player pieces. So if you have like, 5 different player colors, you can find bags that match that proper color, put all the pieces that you need in there, start the game up, and then go. And these are something I use for Clans of Caledonia, the base game, for a long time. I even use it for Gaia Project because you have a lot of player pieces that you need. And these bags are great, but just because you're using bags doesn't mean you have to use Ziploc bags, but you can. And I want to encourage you all to use a storage solution that works for you, but I also want to gently encourage you to use a storage solution that helps you that helps the game hit the table faster. I think the more that we kind of play around with it, the more we kind of encourage, or I guess demand, designers of board games, especially the storage solutions, to actually include ones, the more we'll have more consideration. Again, things like, do you have space to sleeve cards? Is there going to be empty space for me to put expansions inside of it? Is your storage solution going to let me also play the game too? Like Parks, that's another one I'm not going to bring out, but Parks comes with its own storage solution, custom design. I think Dog Park had a custom storage solution design. I gave that game away. And I think, I'm trying to think of another game that there was like built-in storage containers. I think those are the two that come, Shackleton Base. Shackleton Base is another one. Civolution, that's another one. They have theirs built out of cardboard and different ways to kind of hold stuff, but it's just nice when the storage solution is built into or considered. And that really, again, helps the game hit the table faster, helps it keep it organized. In games like Shackleton Base, where you have like a rotating selection of different things that you can have, you can kind of pull out the ones that you need, get the cards you need, and just play with those and put everything else back in the box. I don't know, it's just very simple, but it's just elegant in that it helps the game hit the table faster, increases the quality of life, doesn't waste your time, and you can have a little bit more fun just playing the game. Okay, all right, so I've rambled on quite enough. We're gonna go ahead and end the video there. So that is it for my rantings and ramblings about storage solutions. I'll probably make another video about this sometime in the future, but this actually is slightly an inside joke with one of my, with Bear, my person, or the person that I do live streams with on Thursdays, which is, he's a FNG Raleigh NC, or Friendly Neighborhood Gamer, Raleigh NC, North Carolina. But he makes a joke that I should just do like a series of videos about storage solutions, because he'll bring over a board game that's brand new. He'll start unboxing it just to kind of say, oh, I'm excited about this game, like Earthbound Rangers, for instance. And I was like, ooh, those cards aren't sleeved. Oh my gosh, you need a box to store your thing. Actually, here, just let me hold on to it for like 20 minutes, and I'll just get you all stored up. So it's a little bit of an inside joke, because that's what actually happened. Not with Earthbound Rangers, but with his copy of Arcs. I gave him a storage solution for everything. And it made the game hit the table faster. Do I like Arcs as a board game? No, but that's my own personal problem. His cards were sleeved though. His cards were sleeved and protected, and he can play the game with everybody. So there you go, forever. Okay, so that is it. That is my conclusion. My thesis is storage solutions can help the game hit the table faster. I think that we should all think a little bit about how we store the games, especially ones that we love and we want to play all the time. The question is, can I make this game go from a 15-minute setup to a 2-minute setup? And the answer is yes. And I think it's worth the investment. Of course, don't go too crazy unless you really love the game. Again, Terraforming Mars is a great example. $50 for the board game and then $50 for the storage solution. That seems excessive, but if you play the game a lot, $50 is more than worth it. Gloomhaven is another example I forgot all about. The storage solution for Broken Token for Gloomhaven, I think Gloomhaven original was like $150 MSRP. Don't quote me on that. But the Broken Token storage solution was like $80, and it's like, why? Why am I paying so much money for the storage solution? And then you get storage solutions like, wow, this is amazing. I'm so glad I got it. I think I got the folded space. Oh no, I got the dragon wood one. I don't know, I forgot the name. It's like dragon something, which is still expensive, but anyway, not the point of the video. Okay, all right, again, I've ranted and rambled on enough. Oh, we got a question here. Sorry, we got a statement here from Ilman. Again, Ilman? Yeah, I'm saying it right. Ilman in the Twitch chat, which is saying, I'd like a token bag that turns into token cups. Oh, okay, okay. I'm actually designing. Oh yes, yes, please do. I think that's great because if you have a token bag that turns into a token cup, that'd be great. Also, same thing for dice. I'm trying to think of a game that this would be relevant. I guess maybe a game like Lords of Vegas or Las Vegas, either one of those, where you roll dice a lot. Some people like rolling dice in cups. I don't like rolling dice in cups, but it's nice to have like a mechanism that you can store stuff in and also play the game with. Zombie dice. That's a relevant example because you can use the container, the cylinder that it comes with as a dice shaker. Again, I don't like dice shakers. They're too loud for me, unless you put felt in them, but then it kind of ruins the fun of doing the dice shaking sound. But anyway, okay. All right. Sorry, there's a follow-up message in here in the Twitch chat from Chai Doodle says, LOL, you're creating a solution with no problem. You know, sometimes you just want luxury things. I just want to say, sometimes you want upgraded components and things nice. I don't know. Okay, all right, that's gonna be the official end of the video though. I'm gonna go ahead and close the video here. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to stick around. I'm gonna try to play a game of Core Discovery. If you're watching here on YouTube, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. And as always, I will see you all whenever.